Conversations with Kizzy.
That's how I'm freaking feeling today. Okay? That's how I'm feeling. Anyway, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here with y'all tonight because I actually just got on here to tell y'all I'm tired and I don't feel like it. Um, I got my wig on. I just got my crystal. I am Crystal LaShawn experience. This is my daughter's bonnet, so this is kind of like promo. So I don't know shit. just saying. You can so. Oh, you know what? I forgot I did set that for these things to pop up, and I don't know if I necessarily wanted that to do that. So let me go see the comments. It asked me about the comments. There you go. I don't necessarily want the comments to show up. I want to be able to pull them on anyway, because I'm not going to be on here this long. So this is kind of like promo. This is my daughter's product. This is her bonnet. You can get them in purple and pink. I think they're still on her website. Mm-hmm. Duke Flair done joined. What's up, Curtis? So this is promo. So y'all can't talk about my bonnet. This is my daughter's product. So I'm on here promoting. I don't think I've ever got on here with one of her bonnets, but she didn't have these bonnets for a long time. Anyway, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Kizzy. Welcome back for another episode of Conversations with Kizzy presented by Men Ain't Menin. I got some folks over on Instagram. I got some folks over here on Facebook. Tonight, y'all, it's just me. And I was like, I don't feel like doing the show. My vitamin D deficiency is deficiencying, and I'm exhausted and I'm tired. And I need to be processing kinky lingerie orders. I do not have them on automate because I don't want them to automatically fill them without it going through the full fry process. When it's a lot of them, I ain't gonna care. The attrition won't matter. But at the moment, I care. So tonight we're supposed to talk about emotional intelligence. And there's a reason for that. Y'all know I always got a reason to come on here and tell y'all about stuff. But I realized my emotional intelligence. I realized I had a high IQ and emotional intelligence a long time ago, and unfortunately, I realized that a lot of other people don't. I shouldn't laugh, but I'm serious. I got on my Doc Miss Stuffing shirt. Hold on. Got on my auntie Doc McStuffin birthday girl shirt. Y'all don't. This is my niecey poo. I made this for my niecey poo birthday. She was by 3. Anyway, that ain't even important. We talking about emotional intelligence. I'm gonna give y'all a good 20-minute lesson, and I'm out of here. I want to go lay down. I'm tired, and it's been raining all day, so I haven't been able to go outside and get some sunlight. I took my vitamin D, but when I sit in the sun, I tend to feel a whole lot better than just taking the vitamin D. And I didn't get to do that today. Not to mention, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I have not had a good night's sleep since Thursday night. It's Tuesday. Friday night, I hung out, went to a party. Saturday night, I hung out, drank a little bit. One of them nights, I got harassed like a motherfucker. I think it was Sunday, but then by Sunday, my sleep pattern was jacked up. Monday, okay, I remember what it was. I got harassed Saturday when I should have been where I was supposed to be, which was to my man's house. So I got harassed the shit out of on Saturday night. Um, I was home though, but this just kept aggravating my phone. And then Sunday night, y'all, it was a storm or whatever it was, blowing down trees and snatching down power lines. So your girl, like our power went out like at 10:49, and they didn't come back and put it back up until Monday. So I didn't have a good night's sleep. I haven't had a good night's sleep since Thursday. And then Monday night, because my sleep patterns were so jacked up, I went to sleep last night and somehow woke up at 4:27 this morning. So it's bad enough that I'm automatically tired because I got low vitamin D. But Lord have mercy, I haven't gotten enough sleep. And when I don't get enough sleep, I don't feel good. So I don't feel good. So this is why y'all ain't finna have a whole hour show tonight. Y'all just gonna get a little lesson on emotional intelligence and maybe I don't know what else. We gonna see what happened. As you can see, I don't even have my drink because I was busy. I was trying to get as much done as possible. I got some orders to process. I found in my walks of life, I have found that many people have very they have low emotional intelligence. And it's crazy. And I don't know how I think my emotional intelligence came along with my self-awareness because I feel like I be having like little me, good little me on one shoulder and bad little me on the other. And I'm always able to kind of like, I've always been able to kind of like self check myself. I ain't gonna say at an early age, I'm gonna say at a young age, or I'm gonna say by like my mid 20s. I got to a point where it was like, ooh, why would you do that? Oh, that wouldn't be nice. Oh, don't do that. Just that kind of thing. And so it gave me of just being self-aware of how I was feeling. I was learning emotional intelligence and to be completely self-aware, which most people don't even know what emotional intelligence is. And it's just simply being able to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in a positive way. That's it, to relieve stress, if any, which I also realize that this is I might have a little bit too much emotional intelligence because when my relationships end, it's like, hmm, I know how I feel. I make a decision and I choose to feel positive and not care about that so it doesn't bother me. Which I don't know if that's good or not, but it also helps you be able to communicate. It also gives you ability to empathize with other people, talk things out, you know, work through conflicts. And some people are automatically emotionally driven. And if you know what triggers you, then you are on your way. But you got to make the decision, okay, if this triggers me, you know, why? And then you got to deal with that, which is the same thing. Like men ain't minute. Like I will post something about men ain't minute, and folks would jump in the comments, and I ain't gonna say folks, men would jump in the comments with an emotionally driven comment. And my question would always be, why you feel like that? What makes you feel this way? Because at that point, y'all pushing out some negative energy on me, and I haven't even told you directly that you weren't manning as a man. You came to that old assessment on your own that either I was talking to you or something about it resonated with you in a negative way. I mean, you got to be able to recognize your own emotions and be able to deal with them. And I think that's where my emotional intelligence came from because there are times when I'll be mad about something and I'll think about it, be like, why are you mad about that? It's too small. It doesn't even matter. Or that's silly. Don't be mad about that. Um, I don't know. It's just kind of like talking through stuff in your head. But I'm also a type of person that'll give it through the constructive feedback session and he don't even know it. But it's by habit from what I do. But y'all know y'all gotta be able to regulate yourself. You know, that's one thing about having emotional intelligence. You gotta be able to manage your own emotions and the impulse to slap somebody. You gotta be able to deal with that. You gotta be able to self-motivate. When I tell y'all, you gotta be able to pep talk yourself through some stuff. You gotta be able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And you gotta be able to communicate. You gotta be able to build a relationship with somebody. Not just build one, but maintain it in a positive way. Okay? You have if people were to be more self-aware and more entwined with their emotions, they don't understand how much that would improve relationships with people in their personal lives, in their business lives, the way they'll be able to talk to somebody better. They'd actually be more productive. It is utterly amazing what your emotional intelligence will do. Definitely helps you manage stress, anxiety, and things like that. But hey, Emotional intelligence kind of just overall promotes your well being. It helps you in so many ways by simply being self aware. Now, being self aware and ignoring it, don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? But recognize your own emotions and how they affect what you thinking and how it might make you feel. But a lot of folks like self regulate. I'm gonna tell y'all that's not one that's easy. Sometimes you have to work on that self regulation a little bit because I'm a Cancer. There is no in between. Either you is or you ain't. It's black or it's white. There's no gray area. There's no in between. So I'm either gonna be nice, I'm gonna be nasty. But I literally am completely aware of that. So I'm able to sometimes often catch that emotion before it goes too far. Tony says anything intelligence. Mercy, what's up? Absolutely not. What you talking about? What's absolutely not, Tony? You just on here for controversial reasons. Are you emotionally intelligent? That's what I want to know. What's up, kids? I hear you. We watching you. Hey, hold on, y'all. Let me put the comments on the screen as they pop up. They should anyway. Anyway, I'm just saying. I want to know what you mean by absolutely not, Tony. Because I wasn't looking at the comments when you put it on here. Keep the emotional short bus kids way over there. To be perfectly honest with you, Tony, there are more emotionally short bus grown ups or kids, as you say, than people realize. And hi, Richard. How are you? Hope you're having a good night. But anyway, um, I think, emotional intelligence stems from a lot of different places. I know, like the self motivate. Some people actually need somebody else to motivate them. But y'all got to learn how to tell yourself you're doing a great job. Keep it up. You know what I mean? And empathizing with somebody is a big thing. I used to teach empathy in a class, a customer service class. I used to teach people empathy statements. Maybe my job and what I do for a living has taught me emotional intelligence as well. Hmm. I ain't mad at it. I'm glad I got it. But I used to teach empathy statements and the process of empathy to customer service representatives for a call center of representatives who answered the phone for Walmart.com. I used to teach them empathy statements and I used to explain to them sympathy and empathy, two different things. Empathy statements, hey, think about how that person feels. Put yourself in your shoes and then be able to say, "Hey, I understand where you're coming from." And if I had that happen, I would be mad too. Sympathy is just feeling sorry for somebody. Oh, that's messed up. And that's it. Empathy is putting yourself in their shoes to try to understand their emotions, to recognize what they see and be able to understand their perspectives. That's why when I talk to people, I always put myself in a position to where I can understand their perspective. And that just means it's not always about me, especially in my relationships. I have been told multiple times dealing in my relationships, like if I express myself exceptionally well when I need to communicate a feeling that I had that's based off of something that you did. I'm able to express that verbally without the person feeling attacked, but at the same time to paint a visual for them in their head of, hey, this is what it feels like for me. And if I know that person well enough, I can kind of say, so it would be like me doing blah 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 to you and you not liking it. So you also got to be able to give yourself a good old pep talk. Hey, 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 you can do it. Even when there's challenges and obstacles, you can do it. Like me persevering on this freaking podcast. Like I don't want to be on here tonight. I'm so freaking tired, but I'm still on here. I said, girl, just get on there and tell them something and then get off. Drop a couple of gold nuggets and then leave. But the more self aware you are, the better you're able to regulate how you feel and better able to your social skills automatically improve. So y'all got to think about when you feeling how you feeling. Sometimes like why I feel like this. And sometimes you got to say, okay, it was a trigger. And then you can address it like, oh, I shouldn't even be mad at this person because they don't even know I have this trigger. So maybe I need to communicate, hey, every time you do this, I have a flashback. You know what I'm saying? Or when you having a disagreement with somebody, I notice, you know, people like to yell. And I stop listening when people start yelling. And I just be like, it doesn't really matter what they're saying at this point because I don't want to hear what they're talking about, nor do I care. But trust you me when there's something that I feel is detrimental to get out, to build the relationship, I sit down and I have a conversation. I don't need to yell at nobody. We gonna talk about this. You made it. Gotta push through. I know, I know. But I'm on here promoting my daughter's yeah, my hair is done. I don't want y'all to think it's not. I just felt like I was gonna put this on because I didn't feel like brushing it. But it's her product. Go to her website. I am Crystal LaShawn. Alright. If you can make it make sense, everything should be okay in the end. Yeah, but see, the thing about it is both people got to be able to make it make sense. And sometimes you deal with people who lack emotional intelligence. Just for real. It just does. But if you have emotional intelligence, guess what? You are statistically, you have better mental health. You ain't stressing. You ain't you ain't bugging out. You ain't having anxiety as much as you may have used to have it. You ain't popping off on nobody for no apparent reason. You ain't screaming at nobody in traffic. It just makes you have a more stable mind because then you're better able to control yourself. Y'all, when I tell you, I picked this topic for a reason. And the reason why I picked this topic is because I noticed my own emotional intelligence growth. Lord hammers. I'm telling you, I did. I did. And I noticed this when my man kind of did something that I didn't like. And I responded, but I didn't respond in a manner that I guess I would have normally responded. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest, y'all know when y'all done heard about the lunatic enough. But my response to the lunatic would have been it would have been in the same energy. So basically, even though I was in my feelings and I was upset and emotional as a girl, I was able to not let my head pop off and let the real Kizzy show up. I was able to, kind of say, okay, I want to be in a good place. I want to be able to have this conversation, not a one sided conversation. I do want to be able to express how I feel, but I also want to know how he feels because that's a perspective that I'm not privy to at the moment. And the only way for me to have that perspective is to effectively communicate. Um, he was wrong. I'm not gonna say he was wrong. I'm gonna say he just had a perspective that just wasn't realistic, and that's not a bad thing. And I'm glad that it wasn't realistic because he was thinking the worst. And it wasn't even close to that, and I'm okay with that. I understood that my perspective might have been one thing, but my actions from my perspective also caused a disruption as well. Y'all know me. If I did it, I did it, but I didn't do anything this time. We both kind of just our lines just got crossed, and it was a miscommunication on both of our parts. I'm just glad that I didn't. My head didn't pop off, and Kizzy showed up, the real one. Y'all didn't saw a couple of times on this show. Um, but it really made me think about emotional intelligence, and I was like, maybe I know people don't really know what that is. And I don't know if they really know how to use that or how to get there and how beneficial it is to be self aware of how you feel your own emotions and how they actually affect you. whether it affects your thoughts or your behavior or both. Because, honey, when I'm mad, it affects my thoughts, and my thoughts lead to a different behavior. So I got to catch them thoughts before I be them got locked up somewhere. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So if y'all, I want y'all to keep. I try to educate y'all. I try to drop little nuggets, to help y'all get through y'all relationships, and it does really start with you. Especially if you are someone who has a temper or has had a temper in the past. I know with age we all get better, but not all of us. Not all of us. So that's just some. That's just something. A little food for thought. Learn if you're able to recognize your own emotions and then how they really make you feel and how it affects what you might do, and then you're more prone to be able to adjust and course correct to something a little bit more positive where you're regulating those emotions. Got to be able to say hey, which allows you to change your situation from maybe a negative to a positive if that's where it was going. Even in your relationships, sometimes, like, I literally, in the past, I always have, for the most part, I'll walk away. I ain't gonna say that, I'm lying. Um, I got to a certain age where I would just walk away from the argument and have to come back to revisit it simply because emotions are high, and I may not have been able to keep them in check. So I wanted to calm down and have a clear mind so that I could communicate effectively with my man. I'm trying to tell y'all, having some emotional intelligence really will improve on your relationship. It's going to help you build stronger relationships. They're going to be meaningful. And not just like in relationships with just like relationships, but like with your family, with your friends, with your people at work. Because there's always that at work that you be wanting to shut the up. Honey, think about, why they always coming in here talking to me, even though I don't want to hear them. Ask them, "Hey, why you coming here and talk to me all day?" And they'll tell you, either I don't have anybody to talk to at home. You'd be amazed. Or I live alone. Or, if you just start paying attention to stuff that they'll tell you why they come in and chat. Like, I'm just chatty. I'm just nice. I just got pleasant social skills because I'm mentally happy. I ain't stressing over nothing. But a lot of the times it be some, why they always talking to me? It might not be them, it might be you. Be aware of yourself. I promised y'all 30 minutes tonight. That's all y'all got. The next episode I'm gonna have to do a highlight on kinky lingerie because there are so many things happening and I promote everybody else's business. So I need to promote my own. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I said the next show. So what that mean, y'all? That mean what? On the 22nd? It's either gonna be the 22nd or the 29th. Okay, never mind. It's gonna have to be the 22nd or the 29th because I'm out of town the first 2 weeks of August. Y'all will still get a show. I just will be in Arkansas one week and Ohio the next. Y'all will get a show. Probably a special guest or two. But either the 22nd or the 29th of this month, I'm going to highlight and showcase kinky lingerie because there is so much going on with this, so many changes. And I'm so excited about it. The other reason why I'm getting off here is because I need to process these people's orders so they can be shipped. So I'm super excited about the growth. I don't care if it's a little bit of growth. I'm super excited because it was more than it was yesterday. DC Rogers 2. I am Jasmine M. Jones. Hey y'all. Y'all getting a short show tonight. It's generally an hour, but I'm tired. My vitamin D deficiency is winning. And I can't help it. The sun didn't come out today. All right, so we got some comments over here. Understanding and self-control help in every situation, no matter what they're saying. Let your inner peace control one response. Yeah, that's easier said than done, Richard. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Y'all know I keep it real. That's easier said than done. That's great advice, but it's easier said than done. It has to be practiced. And y'all, I think I'm perfected it, but I'm getting close. What's up, cousin? Thanks for stopping by. He said, "You not ready to have this moment. Let's talk later tomorrow. Works. LOL. 100% of the time for me. Anything crazy come after the silence is not wrong." I guess it depends on who you're talking to. But if I feel like being toxic because someone wants to be right, I feed it on purpose. Not gonna lie. All right, so that's immature. That's petty. That's vindictive. Don't feed it on purpose because that doesn't help the situation. That's the lack of emotional intelligence when you know you finna make a negative impact. Why would you do that? Don't worry about it. We all guilty of it. But dang. But honey, if I know I'm right, I ain't finna argue with you. Go ahead and keep it 100. If I know I'm right, I'm not arguing with you. That's just a waste of time. Being honest. I know. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being honest, but dang. You got don't be petty. Don't be petty. I know sometimes you can't help it, but listen, I literally have to talk myself off the limb sometimes. Be like, Kisa, don't do that. Don't do that, Kizzy. Don't do that. I do. And or I'll plot something in my head and be so tickled about it, be like, ooh, girl, you going to jail. I be trying. I be trying. I be trying, y'all. It's so funny. It's hilarious. New feature. I can show y'all comments like it's to my right down here on the opposite side of my name. I'm gonna put you guys comments up like that. I just now seeing that little button. It says in beta, so I can barely see them there, but I don't know what they look like for y'all. But then why do I need the comments there if y'all on Facebook? They should be popping up for y'all anyway. I just be wanting to click things on and see how they work. September 20th, y'all save the date. Black tie event. Orlando, we coming. Well, I'm coming. It is a black tie event. Tickets will go on sale soon. I just have to slide down there in the next couple of weeks and finalize. The guy's out of the office until the 21st. I'll be in Orlando the following weekend, I think, anyway. I gotta go get my nails done anyway. But yeah. And as soon as I sign the contract for the event space, I'm gonna let y'all. I'll release the tickets for it. It's black tie, so that means you have to be dressed. You cannot show up in tennis shoes, slacks, or collared shirts. You need to be suited. Yeah. Now, whether or not you wear black suits, that's your business. Whether or not you wear black tie, that's your business. But you have to wear a suit and tie. So black ties, upscale. We doing it big for the 3-year anniversary. I got some, yeah, like everybody, all the guests and all of that. The entertainment is locked in. Oh, I just need to lock in the DJ. I keep forgetting, which is easy. I just got to go to his website and see if he's available. And if my favorite DJ ain't available, it's okay. I got 2 backup DJs that I didn't even ask for, and I thank God for that. And I'm like, what? Y'all gonna let me borrow y'all DJs? So God be working it out. So I'm super excited about doing this 3-year anniversary event. Um, I wasn't gonna do a 3-year anniversary event. I just, but I was like, why not? You got to 3 years and this isn't what you were trying, this just where you got to. And I was like, damn, I wasn't even trying to get to 1. This is just y'all doing. Um, but it's also gonna give me an opportunity to showcase the kinky lingerie and a couple of other business associates that are joining me in this night of elegance to kind of just celebrate men, amen, and what it has grown to, which is bananas in my mind. Like it's behind me, but Men A Minute LLC is the parent company, and there's 2 companies under that umbrella of Men A Minute, and that's the Hero Headline and Conversations with Kizzy, the podcast. You know what? Conversations, the relationship coach business is under that umbrella too. So Men A Minute is the parent company for 3 other businesses. So when I tell y'all I've been over here doing some stuff, I'll be over here doing stuff. all kinds of stuff. And believe it or not, people actually do call for relationship sessions. Even my friends, but I don't be charging them. But people actually call and want a relationship session, and it's amazing. I still haven't had a chance to do my clinicals for it, but I can still coach you. Um, but after I get this kinky stuff where I want it, then we'll go ahead and get back to relationship coaching. And y'all know I still had to go to work. So when I replace my go to work income, then I can give y'all me full time. And anyway, thank y'all for stopping by. I ain't got nothing else to talk about tonight. I'm tired. I'm finna get off here. I'm finna take this bonnet off. And I already had me a bath. So I'm literally about to. I think I need to go to the store. I didn't even fix me a drink. I might fix me a drink after I get off of here. We gonna see. Okay, we gonna see. But y'all know what I say. In the meantime, in between time, be good or be good at it, but don't get caught. Love and light. Amen, out. Hey, if you don't know, learn some emotional intelligence. I'll see y'all in a minute. Bye.